I'm not a Swiftie. I don't hate Taylor Swift. I don't obsess over her. I don't decode lyrics like they're classified documents. I just don't care that much. Music is music. Some songs I like, some I skip, and then I move on with my day. But somehow, that very normal opinion turned into the most ridiculous mess of my life. One that ended with lawyers, public apologies, and a very humbling lesson for a certain group of people who thought fandom equals power. This whole thing started when my friend and I organized a small open mic night at a local cafe. It was supposed to be simple and relaxed. People could perform songs they liked, read poetry, play guitar, whatever. We'd done it before, and it was always friendly and chill. A few days before the event, someone commented on the event page and asked if we could make the entire night Taylor Swift themed. I replied politely and explained that the event was meant for all artists and we wanted everyone to feel included. I wasn't rude. I didn't mock her. I literally said we were keeping it open to all music. Apparently, that was enough to offend an entire fan army. Within hours, more of them showed up in the comments, accusing us of being hostile toward Swifties. They said things like we were suppressing women in music, or we had an obvious bias against Taylor fans. I tried to ignore it. My friend locked the thread so the drama wouldn't spread. We figured it would blow over. It didn't. The night of the event, they arrived, not to participate like everyone else, but to take over. They brought portable speakers, cued Taylor songs, and talked over performers who weren't singing Swift music. When we tried to remind them that everyone had equal time, one of them snapped that we were discriminating against them and trying to control artistic expression. She said it in this dramatic, self-righteous tone, like she was delivering a speech in a courtroom instead of standing in a cafe next to a pastry case. We stayed calm. We asked them, more than once, to respect the format. They refused. Eventually, the cafe owner stepped in and asked them to leave because they were disrupting the event. They walked out loudly, recording on their phones, acting like they were victims in some big social injustice moment. The next day, things exploded. Someone sent me a link to a long post they made online. According to them, I was now an aggressive Taylor Swift hater who ran events that excluded Swifties. They claimed I publicly humiliated them, banned them from the cafe, and, my favorite part, that I had a pattern of anti-fan hostility. They posted my photo and tagged my workplace. They encouraged people to report me. They even uploaded edited clips from the event, filmed without permission, cut in a way that made it look like we were yelling at them when in reality, we were talking calmly. That was the moment when the situation stopped being annoying and became serious. My boss called me into the office, confused and embarrassed, asking what on earth this was about. I had to sit there and explain that I did not, in fact, run some shadow organization dedicated to oppressing Taylor Swift fans. I went home shaking from stress. I couldn't believe people were willing to ruin someone's life over a music event, so I started gathering everything. I saved messages, screenshots, the original event details, and the cafe owner gave me access to the security footage that showed what actually happened. We had proof that they interrupted performers, ignored rules, and filmed people without consent. The cafe owner and I booked a consultation with a lawyer. When he looked through the evidence, he didn't roll his eyes or say it was internet drama. He said, very calmly, that what they posted crossed the line into defamation and harassment, and that the unauthorized filming was a problem too. He drafted a formal notice and sent it to the main people involved. It wasn't harsh or emotional. It was factual, precise, and extremely clear about the consequences if they didn't remove the content and correct their statements. And suddenly, the confidence disappeared. The same people who had been calling me dangerous and abusive started sending apologetic messages saying they didn't mean for things to go that far or that it was just miscommunication. They took down the videos. They posted a public apology admitting that what they said wasn't accurate. They sent a letter to my workplace clearing my name. The most ironic part was that none of this would have happened if they had just behaved like normal people at an event that didn't revolve around their favorite musician. After everything settled, the cafe owner and I kept running our open mic nights. More people joined. The community became stronger. People supported us because they saw how we handled the situation, calmly, professionally, and without stooping to their level. As for the ringleaders, they vanished from the local scene, not because we embarrassed them publicly. We didn't. They simply couldn't operate the way they used to once their behavior had real-world consequences instead of internet applause. I didn't walk away from this hating Taylor Swift or hating her fans in general. I walked away understanding that some people use fandom as a weapon, something to hide behind while they attack others and pretend they're morally superior. And sooner or later, the real world doesn't play along with that. In the end, there wasn't drama, there wasn't revenge or screaming or chaos. There was just truth. There were facts, and there was accountability. And honestly, that felt like the most satisfying form of payback there could possibly be,